Hello, Twitchers. I am Marty B. Welcome to F1. We are here in Bahrain, the beautiful, I'd love to say the beautiful sunshine, but it's actually under the lights. Practice is done for the week for these boys. Now it's time for qualifying. 18 minutes ahead of us. Let's go. We have 5.412 kilometres of racing each lap to go, 3 times DRS zones, of course. So top speed of around about 200 miles an hour. That translates to 320 kilometres an hour. Full throttle for around about 74% of this lap. Elevation change around about 15 metres or so. Down the main straight, you're going to have your DRS zone, of course, into turn 1, then into turn number 4, and then into turn 11 are the passing opportunities, most likely after flicking that rear wing open like a letterbox. That points us towards 6 to the left and 9 to the right, 15 corners in total. So, first held in 2004. This is actually going to be the 19th time we're coming to Bahrain, one of the safest tracks in the world due to the runoff areas. There's no sand traps. It is just runoff areas. So a lot of drivers, we may be making the most of those runoff areas if they need to. But I guess we'll wait and see. And of course, it wouldn't be Tier 1 on Sunday without my best mate. We all look forward to hearing from him. I talk the garbage. He talks the good stuff. Welcome along to Skyrace Control, JC. How are you, my friend?
Doing very well, Marty B. Thanks for that intro. Great to be here with you, of course, at Bahrain for Tier 1, Round 7. Yeah, of course, coinciding with the real F1, so it makes it just that little bit extra exciting. We've had some pretty good races so far in all 4 tiers. Couple of reserves, stealing the show in Tier 4, and Gordo absolutely blitzing it as well in a couple of tiers. In the Ferrari. So, yeah, looking forward to some fantastic racing once again here Sunday afternoon in Tier 1. Of course, the best drivers that we've got on display, and they never let us down, that's for sure. Last weekend, let me just get us up to date, Martin. We had KLX going back-to-back with race wins in Singapore and Portimao, closing the gap to championship leader Prince by just 26 points. After some stewards' rulings after Singapore during the week, we saw Riley in the Merc. He was bumped up to P2 on that podium. Prince was up to P3. Tomo, his best result for the season, up to P4, while Jacko and Marcus were dropped to P8 and P10 respectively. I've got no doubts that Dools will be out seeking redemption in his green machine, while his brother Noob, also in the Aston Martin, will be buoyed by a fantastic P2, I believe it was, in the recent OCE F1 event.
Yeah, of course. A lot of rapid drivers out there tonight, Joe. Just listening to what you're saying, there is going to be some absolutely stonking laps from these guys. We're probably expecting for qualifying pole last night for Tier 2, I think, was a 28.5 maybe, about a 28.5, so we could be looking in the low 28s. Prince, Brocco, probably KLX, they may be looking to the very, very low 28s. But it's going to be somewhere in the 28s. That is going to be our pole lap. It's going to be interesting to see. Track evolution, of course. We're only 3 minutes into qualifying. A lot of cars out on the track at this stage. So we're going to be looking for Mash. We're going to be looking at Kiwi. Prince, of course. Brocco is very, very rapid. And KLX in that McLaren. So we're just waiting for any cars to put a lap on the board. And then we can try and take the benchmark and just work it out. What's really going to be the go-forth time. This is sort of it could be a high downforce track. Like I think I ran a 22.20 last night, and it was very, very pointy. But some of these guys, I reckon, have the skill to be running maybe like a 15-18 wing, Joey. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, if you game enough, for those out there that are that talented, I'm sure there'll be a few of those out there tonight running very low downforce and pushing it as fast as they can. Of course, you want to be as fast as you can down those straights. I think that's where your best chance of overtaking is. Look, you did mention Kiwi, and it's really exciting to have him back in the Williams for this round. He's been missing the last couple, and he's just about to start his. No, he's pulling into the pits. He was on an outlap, but he's coming back in, so not happy with the setup, obviously. Mash has just set the fastest lap at the 1:28.2 in the Ferrari. So,
that's a banger.
Nice and early. Jeez.
That's a banger. Go Mash. Mash in the Mash Ferrari. Karama, of course, the croissant himself, P2 with a 28.4, 2.5 tenths actually behind Mash. Jaco in P3, not far along behind Karama, Brocco, and Lorenzbro. Lorenzbro is a very, very fast driver as well. I'm starting to warm up to that guy. He is just super, super quick. Let's just jump on with him at the moment. It looks like he might be on his in-lap. He is running very, very light on the battery power, so that must be his in-lap at this stage. A lot of cars on the track, Joey. Wonder who's going to be going out again. So you can probably, to be honest, run 3 laps, right? In an 18-minute quali, you can do 3 hot laps in theory. So these guys are going to, obviously, they've got out early. Half the field hasn't even put a time on the board, but they are on their hot laps. Who have you got your eye on?
At the moment, look, AMS Kong is returning in the Ferrari from last weekend. He actually missed last weekend, and he's one of the best qualifying drivers that I've seen in all of league racing. Marcus as well in the McLaren, he's super quick. Miller is reserving tonight. Let me just go over the reserves quickly, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
In the Haas, we're missing No Jug, who's right up there in contention on the overall standings in the Haas on 63 points overall in P4. So he's missing tonight, and he's being replaced by Timmy, who is really the super sub. You could probably just call him Seb. He's doing outstanding. We have in the Williams is Winston, and I believe Miller is replacing him in the Williams tonight. So Winston's missed, I think, maybe a month's worth of races back to back. And the McLaren, as I mentioned, Marcus is in for Kaipi, so Kaipi's missing yet again. And there may be a bit of contention around him keeping his full-time seat. I'm sure Mercy isn't probably too pleased with his absence lately, and will look to get someone a bit more permanent than he can rely on to fill that seat every week and try and pull in some consistent points there.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And points are all up for grabs tonight. It's going to be very, very close in the real F1. I won't give away any details, but the top 10 was separated by just absolutely next to nothing. Super, super fast in real life. They were on, I think they were actually on 29 somethings. Pole, I think it was 29 and a half, maybe. 28-1 from Prince. That is just absolutely rapid. Hopefully someone can maybe go out there and knock him off his horse. You know, that's super fast. That guy, it just blows me away. I don't know where he gets the time from. As we do see Miller goes around, does a couple of 360s. That was coming out of turn number 12. That horrible, horrible right-hand corner where it's flat on a brand new set of shoes. But it's just not flat. If you just don't pull your shorts up and keep your foot in it, it is not flat. So he has just had a small mistake there. But AMS Kong going for another outlap. Jaco, another outlap. We might just... Who do you reckon we should jump on board for everybody's favourite part of qualifying, Joey? For the hot lap.
Right,
where should we go?
Let me have a look through this field at the moment, and we'll pick out a driver. I've just had I'm a Noob in the Aston Martin. He's just texted in the chat and said that he couldn't get back in, so I've just sent him another invite, and hopefully he won't have any trouble getting back in his seat there. Look, it looks like AMS Kong in the Ferrari is coming around the middle sector, and he's on an outlap, so he'll be on for a banging hot lap, I reckon, Martin, and he's the driver to be on with. As I mentioned before, it was Belgium, where I'm pretty sure he posted that qualifying lap that he did up in the clips and highlights section of the Inters channel on Discord. And if you haven't seen it, scroll up a bit and have a look, because it'll take your breath away. It was absolutely fantastic. So
all right,
up and bring
should we do it?
Here we go.
Let's do it. You guys know what time it is. It's time to buckle up and neck up your Pelicans. We are going hot around Bahrain. DRS zone right there on the exit to turn number 15. It is a very, very long run down into turn 1. He will be foot flat through the floor as much as he can. Around about the 100-metre board, you're jumping on the brakes. You've got to make this apex, but don't touch it because it will unsettle the car. And on the left-hand curb, you can ride. This is where, of course, Romain Grosjean went off into the right-hand Pirelli barrier there, down into turn 4. This is the second DRS zone. He's going to go a wide, wide line down into 4th gear. 5th gear, short shifting to get that traction. Here is where Lewis Hamilton went a little bit wide, and they call it the Hamilton line now into 5, 6 and 7. You can touch these curbs if you like, if you're game, if your car is not unsettled. Turn 8 is the hairpin on the power nice and early. Under the Aramco sign, we go now into 9 and 10. Now, this corner is nobody's favourite. Let me tell you, JC, no one's favourite. It's very, very hard to get the car squared up and very hard to get on the gas nice and early, but it is a DRS zone, again, down into turn number 11. So let's see how he sets this up. It's very, very wide. He is taking Oh my goodness, he's taking some wonderful lines through here. A fantastic drive from this bloke. Almost looking a wee bit dangerous there through the big right-hander. That's where you can lose the car, and you've got to keep the apex speed through here as well. Just misses that ever so slightly. Watch your track limits there. Out of 13, coming down now. Wow, this is going to be an absolute stonker. I haven't seen him go purple yet, though. He's just gone green under the Rolex into the final turn, 14 and 15. Onto the main straight. Oh, even a bit of squiggle there, almost losing that car into the DRS. He's going to flick it open. P15, where can he put himself into P12? That wasn't a bad lap, but that was a hot lap from Marty B.
That was fantastic. He did take some very good lines through turn 11 and 12, and it reminds me of my 20s back in the strip club there. So fantastic work there from AMS Kong in the Ferrari. And Jacko's actually DNF, so I saw he was on a hot lap, and he got really squiggly out of turn 11, and I think he may have, didn't really execute that corner very well and got a bit in trouble, and then it looks like he was banging with a few cars coming into turn 14, and he's actually in the wall, and he's without a left tyre there, I think, on the rear, or right tyre.
Yeah, we're just going to see if we can see the car. They have actually, there is the tyre still sitting on the track. I don't know how he's managed to do that. Maybe he's got a bit squiggly under brakes.
Oh, wow.
But unfortunately, it was very much on the left.
My bad. Broccolilli, who is he's back in the Mercedes tonight. He's a team principal there. He's missed a couple of races, but he's put in a fantastic time. And Karuma just goes with a 1:27.7.
Holy crikey!
So the Frenchman has just thrown down the challenge to everyone, and he's in the 1:27. So that is a remarkable time there, with just under 7 minutes remaining in qualifying here. But as I was saying, Broccolilli, he's returned in the top 4 tonight at Bahrain with a 1:28.2, so he's in excellent form. He'll be looking to match Riley tonight and gather some good points for his team out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, mate. Karama has just buttered his croissant with both sides of the knife. Looking at that lap, he is 2/10 ahead of the Prince of Persia. That's a banger, mate. That's an absolute banger. Holy crap, I can't believe how fast that is. That is just off the charts.
It was that good. He probably squeezed a bit of strawberry jam in there as well, just for a little bit of sweetness. It was tremendous. Well done, Karuma.
Oh, it's Brocco's just gone invalid. He was on a banger as well. 28.2 for Brocco. So your top 5 at the moment as we head towards the final countdown of qualifying is Trust Karama.
Prince just pulled a 1:27.9.
27.9, yes. 2/10. 2/10 in it.
Is that Tomo coming around? No, that's the Just Secret coming around, I think. Secret in the AlphaTauri just posted a 1:28.7 up into P12.
These guys they're not separated by much. If we just pull up gap to the leader, we've got the top 12 JC covered by a second, 1 second, and the top 16 with valid laps are all covered by 1.3.5 seconds. That is just the same as it was in real life. Oh my goodness, that is banging.
Yeah, you're right. I think it was qualifying 1, that we just had last night. I think it was the whole entire field was covered by less than a second. So it's just remarkable stuff there from these drivers to replicate something like that.
Absolutely rapid. The KLX McLaren up in P7. Where's the other McLaren? Oh, P18 with Marcus. What is
to put a time on?
Same with Miller and I'm a noob.
Miller, yeah, and I'm a noob. So I'm a noob, obviously still having trouble getting in. I'll send him another invite.
Yeah, it'd be good to get that bloke back in. We're just sitting with Secret at the moment. He must be on an in-lap. There's not many cars out on the track. Who have we got? We've got KLX, who's actually gone invalid. This must be possibly an outlap or a double outlap, as he does. No, it is box for McLaren, the KLX car. Only 3 cars out on the track. There is a Ferrari. That must be probably Kong. It is. Is he on a hot lap? No, sorry, he is on an out lap.
In the house. Let's go. Jump on board with Timmy, who's just coming around turn 13 at the moment, and he's just chucked on the brakes big time. He's parked it in front of a Ferrari coming around.
Oh, he is well out on the road.
That was interesting.
That was interesting. I wonder if he's going to get those tyres fired. Oh, no, Timmy's on an in-lap.
Yeah.
He's got to be on an in-lap. Surely.
Just stay with this and see what's going on here. Yeah, he's coming in. So What was he doing there for the Ferrari, I wonder? Because it was AMS Kong coming around. Maybe he was just having a bit of fun out there.
Yeah, I wonder whether there was a wee bit of cheeky mind games going on there. Of course, mind games are nothing unusual on this track.
They're
so
welcome, that's for sure. Miller is out on track. He's just going past turn 5, 6 and 7, so he's obviously on an outlap, just warming up those tyres. A bit of a super sub as well, you've got to say. Miller seems to finish in the points every time he comes in. Doing a great job as a reserve in Tier 1. We know it's a murderous row of drivers out here, and I'm so glad I've retired from Tier 1. I'm never coming back ever again.
You and me both, brother.
Yeah, I'll probably be dropped to Tier 3 next season, and I will welcome it with open arms.
Oh, mate, I'll just go down to Tier 7. I'll just sit down there and just hopefully do pretty well. He is on an outlap.
I've got to just say quickly, Buster, who's always in chat and always cheering us on in the Haas, he actually got a podium. He bounced back from last weekend, bit of contentious results in the stewards room for Buster, and wasn't his best outing a couple of weeks ago, but he had a fantastic drive last night to secure another podium, and he's really chasing down that chip, and he's stoked to have Timmy representing in the Haas tonight, and I'm sure Timmy will probably end up with another podium, because that's all he seems to get when he drives in Inters Racing League.
It really is. Yeah, shout out to Buster. He's a good bloke. I've had a few chats with him over the last few weeks regarding various things. And shout out to you, Buster, if you're listening, mate. Good on you, bro.
So Miller's... Just quickly, Miller's coming around the front straight. He's actually on a hot lap, and he's got a bit of traffic coming around there, so hopefully those cars are going to get out of his way. And I've got to say, Miller's been he's been growing on a few of the community at Inters. He's really making a name for himself, and he's becoming one of the popular lads here, so shout out to Miller.
Shout out to Miller indeed. He is on a hot lap. Those cars getting well out of his way, coming down now through 5, 6 and 7, the S's if you like, into turn number 8. He's just touching those curbs ever so slightly. He's making a good job of this. It's going to be interesting to see what he does do with this sector. So middle sector now down into 9 and 10. Nobody's favourite corner. Nobody's favourite corner. It's so hard to square the car up there and get on the brakes and then get back on the power. But it is a DRS zone, so you can burn a wee bit of battery on the exit if you need to, down into turn 11. So this is the one where you do take it very, very wide. So it's looking good for this bloke. He does actually miss the apex there a wee bit. And this is the terrifying one. This is turn number 12. This is where it is flat on soft, fresh soft, but it is not flat unless you're super, super keen on hards or meds. So it's going to be great to see what this guy posts as a lap time down towards 14, 15 under the Rolex. A very, very wide line. A lot of cars taking a very wide line around this track, Joey, riding the curb on the apron, or on the entry, I should say, on this track. So Miller posts a 129.2. He'll be disappointed with that. P17 he goes, as AMS Kong is actually out of qualifying. 41 seconds left in the session.
Karuma is just coming on the front straight at the moment. It looks like he's going to post another time. Does he go quicker? It doesn't look like he does. It's a 120. Or actually, he might be going on right now for his final lap. Yep,
he might be on a hot lap. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's have a look.
What have we got going on further down? Oh, it's Karuma goes round. Oh, it's unfortunate on the exit of 1.
Turn 3.
Turn 2, 3, sorry, yeah.
It's
unfortunate for that Alpine. That is very
Hopefully
tricky.
It doesn't compromise too many drivers coming through there. And I'll have to say, it's good to see I'm a Noob has rejoined, and he's back in at the moment. So he's on a hot lap, of course. I did mention I'm a Noob earlier, and he's in really red-hot form. He put a fantastic drive in that invitational event, the Oceanic, I believe it is, that Slammer puts together. So, yeah, it was a fantastic drive. And, of course, representing Inters Racing League was Prince, who just didn't have a great start to that race, but battled on to finish rather well. And, of course, Smash finished, I believe, P8 or P7. He did a great job representing Inters as well. So what do you see, Martin, coming around to post these times at the moment?
Just looking with I'm a Noob at this second, coming around 12. That high-speed right-hander, he is on... He has just gone purple. I'm a Noob's gone purple on the middle sector, JC. He's just keeping the car on the track there through 13. So this is going to be a banger, I reckon, in that beautiful-looking car.
With 128.4.
So he does. Of course, Jaco is out, so he will be P10. But we just see I'm a Noob coming down through the start-finish line. Flick that DRS open on the rear of the car. It goes P13. P13 for I'm a Noob. Tyler behind him, Just Secret in P15. That's not a bad showing for one lap. What can you see?
Karuma's around again in the final corner.
Oh,
So we've got these cars coming around right now,
box.
just in the final stretch. Let's have a look if they post any better times up into the top 10.
Nothing that I can see,
Doesn't
JC.
look like it.
Nah.
No, so actually Mash has gone up into P2. Riley's been pushed down into P4, so Prince is finished with P3 there with a 127.9. So Karuma's actually going to finish with the pole here.
Look at that banger from Mash. A 27.756. He is
wow.
two nothings, what is that, thousandths away from the croissant himself.
Jeez, that's
oh my goodness.
There's absolutely nothing between those two cars at all. So that's outstanding to see. And if Karuma can just get out to a good start and not spin, you've got to say he's probably favourite for the race, because we know how quick he is. And if he can get a bit of a gap on Mash and Prince, he's got every shot to take this one away. And it'd be a great race win if Karuma can actually get one over all these lads in Tier 1, Martin.
Absolutely, mate. So we do see Karuma as your P1, Mash Junior, P2, Prince, Riley and Kong rounding out your top 5. KLX, Brocco, Duels and Kiwi with Jaco the top 10. Ringsbro, Tomahawk with a P12. Not a bad showing from him. I'm a Noob, Tyler and Just Secret, your top 15. Roscoe, Timmy, Scotty, Miller and Marcus rounding out the top 20 drivers this afternoon under the lights here in Bahrain. It's time to go racing, mate. Let's go. That's qualifying. It's done. Let's go. Let's go racing.
You beauty. Let's go racing indeed. So, yeah, pretty good qualifying, you'd have to say, from the Ferraris. We've got both of those cars in the top 5. Mash sitting in P2 and AMS Kong in P5, formerly known as Silderfort for those that aren't aware. And KLX, who's actually had 2 race wins back-to-back in the McLaren, sitting in P6 at the moment. So he's got his work cut out for him if he wants to get up on the podium and even take another victory. It's good to see Brock Lilly up in P7 in the Mercedes, along with Riley's in P4, so his teammate. Both of the Mercedes doing very well in the early running here at Bahrain. I'm a Noob. Look, he's probably happier. He only got away with the one banker. I think you'd have to probably describe his last lap. It was his first time going around I'm a Noob, so to get in the top 13 there with a 128.5, he'd probably be fairly happy with that.
Oh, absolutely, mate. That was, like I said, for a banker, that's not a bad lap of 28.5. I think, like I was saying, our poll from last night was a 28.5. So these guys are just super, like on another level, really. So on to the formation lap we go. Who do you reckon we should sit with for the start of the race? Somewhere P5, P6, maybe KLX, Brocco, somewhere, do you reckon?
Let me think. Who normally gets off to a great start? Well, I'd probably say Riley, but he's actually the first car on the hards in the top 5. He's the only car on the hards in the top 5. We've got KLX on the hards in P6. Kiwis on the hards in P9. Tomahawk in P12 is on the hards. We've got Roscoe and Timmy, P16 and 17 on the hards. And then the last 2 cars, Miller and Marcus, both on the hards as well. So it's a pretty even field. Probably, let's stay on with Prince in P3. He's in the Red Bull. If he can put some pressure on Mash going into turn 1, he really could maybe obviously keep the pressure on Karama as the couple of first laps unfold, and we can see some great racing from the word go, Mark.
Yeah, I reckon, mate. So P3, Prince, it's not even really a mixed match field until you get to the bottom 10, really. It is mid, hard, mid, etc., etc. So seems like the majority going with the mids. I think I went with the mids last night to start with, because track position's great around here. We had no safety cars last night, which was fantastic. So hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, no commentators curse, thank you very much. There will be no safety cars tonight. The walls are relatively far away around here at Bahrain, so there's a lot of space to be moving the car around, especially actually if you lose the car and throw it off the track completely. There's a lot of space to gather yourself back up. So it's going to be interesting. What can you see?
Speaking of losing the car and throwing it off track, AMS Kong in the Ferrari just absolutely lost the back end there and went around. And I think it was Timmy almost went in the back of him, then he was just rejoining on track. So it was lucky that they both didn't get disqualified on line there and headed to the start line with really cold tyres. So
cold tyres. Oh, there's a Haas round on the start line.
That's Jacko, I think.
That's Jacko. Light it up, buddy.
Let's go.
Let's go. So where are we sitting? We're going to sit with Prince in P3. Would you like to take us away for this start of Bahrain, Joey?
All right, let's do that. So we have 3, 4. We have 5 lights, and they are out. There's a little bit of a hesitation as always, and we are off and racing. It looks like Mash has got a pretty good start, but Karuma, he's got the start he wants. Mash looks like he's going to challenge him up into turn 1 at the moment. Let's get on board with Mash. Up into turn 1, he's going to have the inside line, but Karama will have the better line coming out of turn 2. He does, and he's going to hold on to this start here. So Prince is actually getting swallowed up at the moment by Riley up on his inside, and Broccolilli has held position there with AMS Kong.
Oh my God, down to turn 4 we go as the Mercedes of Brocco goes down the inside. I'm not sure who that was, but he's got Prince in front of him now. Into 5, 6, and 7 we go. They're pretty much Indian file, relatively well behaved at the moment. They are coming down into 8. There's no passing opportunity. And so there's a lot of contact as the Red Bull goes round. That's Prince. No, that's who's that? There's a Red Bull on the wall.
Prince.
That is Prince.
Prince is around.
Prince is around.
Oh, there's carbon fiber flying off as they come into turn 9 and 10. There's a lot of
there's someone else around.
That looks like like Jacko is around.
Oh,
and
that's
Roscoe's having a
Jacko.
bit of trouble. There's a couple of cars just trying to sort themselves out here on lap 1 when the tyres are really not up to temperature at all. Kiwi's throwing it up on the inside of turn 11 at the moment. Gets all over the curb as Secret goes around the outside. They're heading into turn 12 at the moment, so it's all happening. Karuma's just out in front, just hoping to warm up those tyres on the outside.
312, 312 and 13. Too wide.
We've
got Tomo.
Dear life.
Miller Roscoe going absolutely hammer and tong through there. That was super, super sketchy. Oh my goodness, down into 14 and 15 we go. A little bit sketchy there. Too wide as well. We're on board with Tomo. We're getting a fantastic view of this shenanigan. There is a car in the box at the moment. Who is that? That will be the Ferrari of AMS Kong. Yellow flags. Kong and Prince.
Kiwi and Scotty into turn 1 at the moment. Kiwi's on the outside. He's going to get the inside run into turn 2 as Scotty just gets a little bit sideways coming out of turn 2. They come out of turn 3 heading up to turn 4 at the moment, and Kiwi's got a good run up into P12. We're going to head further up the field. Let's have a look here. So we've got Mash in P2. Karama's leading this race. They look like they're spread out a little bit, Martin, here. So Lorenzbro's up into P6 at the moment. Let's have a look at the position changes. We've just heading into 2.5 laps done here.
Yeah, position change. I'll tell you who the mover is Marcus. ET8 Marcus has gone up 10 positions from last place. Timmy's gone up 8. Up the top of the field, Riley's gone up 1. Brocco up 3. I'm a noob up 8. Lorenzbro 5. Scotty up 5, Miller up 4. There are some movers in the midfield at this stage of the race, but Karama is just taking a commanding lead. According to the telemetry here in the tower, Broccolilli and I'm a noob are actually a minute and a half behind. So, as we say every week, shout out to Codemasters, you bloody legends. This game is nothing but perfection. So, let's have a look down through the field.
Marcus is all over Timmy at the moment as they're coming into turn 14 and 15, and Timmy looks like he's just let him go there, and he's going to tuck in behind him and pick up the DRS. That's exactly what he's going to do. So he's going to follow this McLaren down the front straight. They're going to wave to the stadium, over to the left if they've got time to.
He's not going to get DRS.
If he's lucky. No, he's not going to. Not just... And KLX actually is right on the back of Dools as well in P8. In fact, I think Dools just overtook him there down the straight. So the Aston Martin boys moving up both into the top 7 at the moment. And Lorenzbro holding his own in P6. So the Alpines, 2 cars in the top 6 doing very well. Of course, the Mercedes as well, P3 and P4. So Broccolilli will be pushing hard to get up behind Riley, and those two can work together to try and chase down Mash in that Ferrari.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap now forming between the Mash Ferrari and the two Mercedes behind of Riley and Broccolilli. There's a 1.8 behind. Mash is actually hanging on. He's hanging on to Karama like a small child hangs on to a chocolate croissant. 8 number 10s behind the leader. 2 seconds now is the gap to Riley. Brocco 1.7 behind. I'm a noob, hanging on to the pieces of the puzzle there. Lorenzbro in behind as well. Dools, KLX all in the fight for this position. What can you see?
Scotty and Tyler, if you head down to P13 and 14, they're just going into turn 11 at the moment. It's a tricky corner, that turn 11. You don't want to get your foot flat down. 12 you can, as long as you get this line right. Looks like Tyler just lifts there. Make sure he does not compromise and gets a good run as they go into turn 13 here. He's all over the back of this Alfa Romeo. He's burning a little bit of ERS. He's going to line it up for this one as they go into turn 14 and 15. Let's have a look. It's right on the back. Right on the back. Dawes picks up the fastest lap of the 1:31.7, Martin.
Oh, there's a DRS train going on here. I'll tell you what, behind Timmy, 1.4 behind Marcus in front of him. So he's got Just Secret, Kiwi, Scotty, Tyler, Miller, and Roscoe, and Tomo, all sitting all between P10 and P17. That is an 7-car train going into turn 3 and 4, the DRS zone. That DRS train is just deadly around here. There's not exactly many passing opportunities in the middle section. Let's just jump back to broadcast view here. That Red Bull of Tyler looking very, very good coming out of turn number 4 there. So what is the guts going to be?
There's a very good battle going on down the back with Prince and AMS Kong and Jacko. There's the three of them going down the front straight at the moment into turn 1, and Prince is pulled alongside and in front of AMS Kong. So the three of those guys on the fresh hards battling it out there down the bottom.
Yeah, fresh hard. They are not going to go to the end. I hate to tell you, if you're listening, if you've got the stream running in the background while you're racing your car, they're not going to go, I don't think, towards the end. Prince running a wee bit wide there, taking the Hamilton line. Do you reckon
when Prince is involved?
Yeah, that's true, mate. Absolutely true. Hards to the end. How many is that? 25 laps. You're probably right, to be fair, but I guess he's going to be banking on a safety car, right? Surely.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, no doubt about it. He'll be hoping for that. But at the moment, he'd just be putting in a long stint on those hards, which is what I did actually last night. I went as long as I could on those hards, and it didn't do me any good favours, really, in the long run. Ended up going in about P11 overall. But Secret's down the front straight at the moment in the AlphaTauri. He's pulling alongside Timmy, and in front of him, we saw those two fighting it out last weekend. It was a great battle between those two. Maybe it was the week before as well, but these two always seem to be in the midst of each other. And, of course, these two have been going at it since Season 1 at Inters, and Timmy's actually going to get the switch back here on the outside as they come into turn 4. Is Secret going to send it up? He does. Who's going to outbreak each other?
This
is great side-to-side racing. Secret might have to just give way here. He does, but sends it again just to keep Timmy under a bit of pressure. They're coming down to the big hairpin of turn 8, and the switch back from Secret on the inside. They've made big contact. Who's going to actually keep grip? It looks like Timmy has. Timmy's going to take this lead coming into turn 9 and 10.
Oh, this is the battle. This is where it's at, mate. There is just an absolute bees nothing in this situation. Someone's gone around Tyler. Tyler has had a moment in the Red Bull. He has taken himself back down to P17. Now, that's unfortunate, but let's go back up and have a look at Secret, who is just all over that Haas like jam on a sandwich.
It's brought Kiwi right into it as well, into the mix, and Scotty and Miller and Roscoe and Tomo. So it's a bloody big train behind here, that's for sure. Right behind Timmy, the big boat.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Scotty's going to have a look on Kiwi here, I reckon. Down into turn. No, he's not actually. He must be running a slightly higher downforce car. A few cars weaving there to try and cool their tyres down. The tyres, of course, get sometimes over 100 degrees Celsius. So super, super hot tyres. Oof, that is banging in it. That is minging.
Secret and Timmy are going at it again. Take 2, Martin. Let's go again as they go into turn 1. Secret on the inside, so that's going to give Timmy the outside run into turn 2, which is probably the preferred line, but Timmy just prefers to tuck in right behind him. Opens up the DRS down the back straight. Where's he going to go? He's going to have a look on the inside. He says,
Timmy goes defensive.
As he goes side to side with the AlphaTauri. Is he going to get the move done? It looks like Secret's on the outside. These
Kiwi's
two
going to have a sniff.
Side by side yet again. Great viewing from Kiwi right behind as it plays out. The AlphaTauri's got in front as they go around turn 8. Into turn 8, I should say. The big hairpin. Kiwi's looking to take advantage of this, Martin.
Oh, Kiwi's going to have a squeeze here, mate. I reckon he's absolutely sniffing it like undies on a Sunday. He's just going to get straight into this if these guys have a tangle. I'll tell you, a little bit of contact there. A little bit of contact. But a little bit of on the old bumhole there. He's just going to get straight into the rear end of Timmy if he can. DRS wide open like a windmill, as we all know. There's a flashing. Hey, there's a flashing AlphaTauri. Who's that? That must be Secret. He's running low, mate. He's running low. He's going to get swallowed. He's going to get swallowed up. This is where the battle is. twitches. This is where it's all happening. So Just Secret is actually holding these guys up a wee bit. There is a few battles further up in the field, but Mash hanging on to P2, 7/10 behind Karama at this stage. Riley P3, long way behind. But this seems to be where the battle is at the moment. The AlphaTauri, the Haas, and the Alpine of Kiwi down to the main straight DRS, flicking it open.
What an exit from Timmy.
What a fantastic exit from Timmy. And he's going to go defensive immediately.
Kiwi up on the outside of Secret. He's got the move done. Is he going to send it on Timmy? He absolutely does. Is he going to hold it?
There's contact.
There's 3 wide going into turn 2. This is absolutely crazy. There's 4.
Good one from Scotty goes through.
Up on the inside.
Oh, the
Gets
outside.
a move done. There's
On
3
the outside of
wide
Secret.
coming into turn 4. Timmy just says, see you later. What's going to happen? Are these guys going to keep it on track? I think they do. Scotty's getting squeezed out wide, but holds it. Kiwi's right there. Miller's having a look. He's just going to see how this one plays out, hoping not to go into the back of his teammate as they go into the big hairpin. Miller's going to have a look on the inside. I think there was a bit of contact. It was a slight little kiss. Hopefully not as wet as the one that you get from your grandma going to church on Sunday. As they go into turn 9 and 10, Timmy's going to hope to skip away here. The 2 Williams are actually battling it out, and Secret's actually going down the back straight here, Martin.
Oh, he absolutely is. Where are we going to sit in Secret? Is contact? There's a car around. Secret's out. There's 2 cars out. Secret's out. Oh,
Miller and Kiwi and
Miller
Secret have just taken each other out.
Oh, there's a Williams. There's 2 Williams. Oh, what just happened? That's got to be a safety car. Burt Mylander.
The 2 Williams were tussling down the straight. They came across and just took Secret out. So that's super unfortunate for the AlphaTauri driver. I don't know what the 2 Williams drivers were doing there. It didn't look like there was much teamwork going on. So
no,
one of them got super damage. I think it may have been Miller. Maybe let's have a look.
Oh man, that was intense.
Miller's got no front wing.
No front wing on that Williams. You are right. What a climax that was. That was just as good as a climax in the pub on the Friday night. It was a 5-second penalty for Miller. He just got lazy there on the pit entry, and a 5-second penalty on the board. That is the first penalty. Yeah,
coming out the concentration laps, and it's not just what you want to get to compound that problem. So, the 2 Williams boys, hopefully they can just settle down and get a good stint out there on the new tyres.
Prince is boxing.
Yeah, because
he's
didn't
boxing
want to
for
go as long
meds.
as he could on those.
Yeah.
Oh, meds. Yeah, well, the hards were done, weren't they? So.
I mean, that's got to be. That's not
maybe.
Even the same meds he started with. Did he start? He must have started with meds. That'll be fresh meds, because of course now you get 2 sets of meds after the update, which is good. So
I think Prince's main strategy is just to make as many places up as he can. So the fresh meds probably make sense to me after a safety restart with someone as quick as Prince.
Yeah, sadly, safety cars breed safety cars, just the same as a rabbit breeds rabbits. So hopefully we don't see any more. But the top 14 cars are on hards, and there's a mix. Top 5 are on 7-lap old. They haven't boxed. Tell you who's net P1 actually is Karama. Yep. He's net P1, net P2.
Stint, hasn't he?
He's had a great first stint, mate. Mash Jr. net P2. I'm a noob.
Tomahawk,
and further down, Tomo.
He split those 2 leaders. Yeah, so Mash is going to want to get past Tomo as quick as possible. I reckon if you stay on with Riley for the restart, I'll jump on with Mash and see how quickly he wants to get past Tomo there to make sure Karuma doesn't get too far ahead. And obviously everyone else behind Mash will be pushing as hard as they can as well on those cold hards that they want to warm up as quickly as possible.
They will be wanting to warm them up, and it's not the kind of track that you want cold tyres. You just don't. Certainly on the exit to turn 10 and 11 and 12, you just don't need cold tyres, so they will be pushing and trying to really heat up those tyres, heat up the carcass of those tyres. Of course, surface temperature is one thing. Carcass temperature is basically how hot the entire wheel is. So surface temperature is about the first few millimeters of the surface, but you really just want to, it's just like a little, it's almost like an electric blanket. You just need to get all of the warmth into those tires. An electric blanket in the winter. God, I love an electric blanket in the winter, Joey. I love it.
Yeah, I had one running for about 5 years. I was meant to throw it out after a year, but I was like, bugger that. I'm going to get the most out of this as I can. I don't care if I catch on fire. I won't be warm.
Yeah, because they reckon it'll catch on fire if you bend the wires or something or other. I think
they've got to say that. It's a huge safety thing, but of course, just make sure out there that you maintain all your equipment if it can burn you alive. None of us want that happening, so safety first here at Enters. Look, just quickly, the Williams drivers at the moment, Kiwi and Miller, obviously we highlighted that really unfortunate incident with those two. The opposite is happening at the other end of the grid, other end of the ladder here. KLX and Marcus. Marcus is doing a fabulous job, actually backing up the number one driver in the McLaren KLX. Marcus, I've been watching for the first 8 laps, has just been nursing his number one driver in front of him, making sure to give him some nice clean air and feel no pressure at all behind him. So, yeah, Marcus is doing a great job as a number 2 driver.
Fantastic job, and we all know, you guys all know, my blood runs orange. I am a papaya fan till the end of time, so it's great to see those 2 McLarens up there in P2 and P3. 8-lap-old hards, they've obviously got a box. They've got a box for probably mids. As we said, net P1 at this stage is Karama sitting down at P6. So, and the rest of the field below him, apart from Tomo's sitting on the 9-lap-old hards as everybody goes across the line and increases the wear on those tyres. Hards, mids down towards the bottom. Prince on the mids. I'm interested to see how this works out for Prince. P15 at the moment. He's the front of the mid runners. So, is he going to put in 5 banging laps and move up 10 places? Who knows?
We've got Kiwi boxing, so I thought maybe Prince would have waited till around then to box as well for those mediums, but it seems Kiwi has opted for that strategy. So I wonder if Kiwi should be able to catch up to that pack before they get started. You'd imagine the safety car will be in after this lap as they go around, and of course it's no surprise to see Timmy in the Haas sniffing around the podium right now in P4. Of course, he got away from that carnage that was behind him with Secret and a lot of those other cars. I think it was Secret.
And those other guys. Those other guys.
I can't remember. I think Miller was maybe involved. Yeah. Anyway, it was great racing. Roscoe was in there as well. Yep. It's all coming back to me now, like an acid flashback.
It's all coming back to me now. Yep.
Not bad. I'd work on that, but don't give up your day job, Marty B.
I might just stay in Sky Race Control and just talk garbage instead of singing. No good on karaoke nights. Let's do that instead. All right, let's go. Safety car must be in this lap. Let's go, JC. Where should we sit? So we've got Riley, KLX, Marcus, Timmy, and Roscoe.
Riley. Yep.
Let's go with Riley.
Riley for the restart. Yep, to make sure he doesn't do a stop-start.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's going to lose throttle from the game itself, but once he takes control, he's just got to have a nice smooth exit to not back up the field behind him. And I'm going to be on board with Mash to see how quickly he's going to try and get past Tomo, who's you wouldn't say they're old hards. He's got 9-lap-old hards, so as soon as Tomo warm those up, they should have pretty good life on those for another 5 laps or so.
Yeah. All right, so you're sitting on with Mash, Super Mash. All right, the restart is on. Let's go, and he is off. It is green.
He's held them. My goodness! Broccolilli has just gone flying past the field before the finish line, and he's just had to give it up. Oh, wow.
Oh, down to turn 1, 2 wide, 3 wide. There's contact. Oh, my goodness. Karama has just taken out the McLaren somehow. Yeah, so, there's an Alpine round. Who was that? That's Karama. That's Karama's round.
It's Karama. Oh, no. In those really... Oh, no. That's just really
trying
bad
times
for Karama. He's in the Alpine, the Frenchman. He's in the car that he wants to be. He's on those fresh, hard tyres, and he just hasn't got the heat into them, and I'm not sure what happened, but that's super unfortunate. Of course, there's plenty going on a bit further up, Martin.
There absolutely is. KLX dropped down to P3. Timmy. Hey, let's have a look at Timmy. He's on an absolute banger in that Haas. Go, Timmy, go. A little bit of a wide line through there, but he's got a McLaren hunting down his gearbox.
I tell you what,
Oh,
Riley has gotten away to the front in the Mercedes. He's in P1, so we know him formerly as Easy Mac. Riley has gotten away out to just over 7.5 tenths to Marcus, who has gotten in front of his teammate. So KLX obviously got a little bit crossed up in that safety car restart. Timmy's jumped up a spot into P3, so exactly where I thought he'd be sniffing around that podium, the dirty dog. We got Mash in P5 in the Ferrari, and Roscoe's doing very well in P6 in the Alfa Romeo. Tomahawk is all the way up into P7 at the moment on those old hard, so Mash did get in front of him. We missed that, but Tomo's held his own. And I'm a noob. It looks like one of the... Is that a Red Bull? Is that KLX, is it?
That was KLX going wide on the final turn, 14 and 15. He's gone wide. He's compromised his exit. He is going to be hunted by Roscoe. He's going to have a look down the inside, and we're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. There's a Ferrari. There's a Haas. He sends it. That is as clean as a whistle coming through turn 2 and 3. That is fantastic driving from these blokes into the DRS zone, but I'll tell you what, no DRS for 2 laps after the safety car, so Roscoe's going to have another look down the inside, but he doesn't make it successful. McLaren in front, Ferrari, and then the Haas of Timmy in P3. It is a line forming here like cocaine on a table. There is just lines all over the place, mate. Let's go. What can you see, Joey?
Oh, lines on a toilet seat back at the nightclub. That's what I remember. So Roscoe is actually in P6 and Tomo's in P7. There's an absolute train going in down to turn 9 and turn 10 at the moment. Lorenz Bro. Oh, Timmy's actually... Tomo's around. Noob may have just gone in the back of him slightly. I'm not sure about that, but it looks like Lorenz Bro is going to be putting a lot of pressure on Noob as they turn into 11 at the moment. Noob takes an inside line, which is going to give Lorenz a bit of run, you'd imagine, into 12. Noob's keeping it well on the inside, but holding that position very nicely.
Wee bit of a lift there from Lorenz Bro too, coming down now into 13. A little bit of a lift, easy on the throttle. Goes wide, I'm a noob. Onto the outside of the track, that's got to be a warning. There's going to be some penalties forming up at this stage of the race. We're only 12 laps in, and the excitement is just absolutely streaming through. So where are the battles? There's battles all over the place, JC.
There are. AMS Kong picks up a 3-second penalty, so that's not going to help him at all towards the end of the race. So Tomo's dropped back into P13 after that little bit of trouble. He's getting put pressure on here by Kiwi up on the inside, who gets the move done. So Tomo's just going to follow him into turn 2 and 3, getting some nice DRS and just cooling those tyres back down. You're sure they'll be screaming a little bit. Looks like Lorenz Bro and I'm a noob are battling big time at turn 4 at the moment. If we go up to there, Martin.
Yeah, we are up there at the moment. We're sitting on board with Prince, who, as I called, on those meds, has gone up to P10. He's gone up from the back, almost the back of the field, up into P10, down into turn number 8 we go. There's 3 cars in front of him. He is going to be licking his chops like you do after ice cream. He is going to be making a move now down into 9 and 10. Probably wait for the DRS. I imagine is DRS enabled. I didn't see the post, but it would appear that it is. DRS goes wide open for Prince. He's going to have a look down the inside of the Aston Martin of Dools. Relatively easy move now down into turn number 11. He's going to be a banger on those meds, but he's going to have to make them work. They are 5 laps old at the moment, so through 12 we go. It's flat out through here. If your tyres are up to temperature, and if you game enough into 13, we're going to have a sit here. We might just stay with Prince for a little bit, Joey, and just see over the next lap how many spaces he can move up.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind staying on board there either. I've also got my eye on Mash, who's putting tremendous pressure on Timmy at the moment, who's sitting in P3. So Mash is obviously pushing for a podium. He doesn't want that reserve driver to steal any points in that Haas. And I'd have to say Ferrari actually.
He's just got Timmy.
That's an absolutely fabulous move, and I've got to say I am licking my lips at that Ferrari like a basset hound with a big bowl of water after a walk in the park. So great move there from Mash. Marcus is doing very well. He's closing that gap in P2 in the McLaren to Riley in the Mercedes. So he's just under 5 tenths, just over 5 tenths behind at the moment. So making that a battle for the victory as we push on in this second stint.
Down into turn 8 we do sit with Marcus at the moment. I mean, 7, he's losing a wee bit of time. Riley, I'll tell you what, he has got that Mercedes absolutely hooked up like a fish on a Sunday, mate. It is absolutely on fire. Beautiful exit there down to the DRS zone. He's actually still gaining time. No, he's not gaining time. Marcus has got the DRS open, so 5 tenths. I don't know whether Marcus is going to be able to make this work. Mash has got a lot of time to make up in that Ferrari and the 6-lap old hards, but he does have the fresher tyres. So actually, Mash is net P1, is he not? Is he? That makes Mash net P1, right?
Yeah, because it would have been Karuma and Mash was P2 before, so
correct.
Yeah, you're correct. You'd have to, because those drivers in front of him are going to have to box. So
Yes.
Noob, you'd imagine, is net P2.
That's right, and Lorenzo are net P3. And I'll tell you what, in theory, Prince is net P4. Meds, though, whether he can nurse those meds at the end. He'll have to absolutely nurse those like a fresh baby in the hospital. It's just going to be...
He's putting pressure on. They're going to go 3 wide, are they? No. Lorenz is actually going to give way to Prince here. He gives way, he lets him go through, but he's going to push up on the inside. There is a bit of contact as they go through turn 2 and 3. They're going to get a bit of a run with the DRS. Who's going to make the move as they head into turn 4? I'm on board with Lorenzo at the moment. Let's have a look. He's just going to sit back there behind. Kiwi's actually making a move as well. I think he just got past AMS Kong. There's pressure. P13 and 14. Sorry, 12 and 13 are really going hard at it as well. So it's all happening through turns 5, 6 and 7. It's not where you want to be side by side. You want to take as much edge of these corners as possible and get a good exit. What do you see there, Martin?
Oh, there's just AMS Kong. I tell you what, it's just sniffing the panties of Kiwi. He is just having a real good look down into 8, 9 and 10 now. He's going to have a great run. What's the exit like for Kong? It's not that great. He's just a wee bit behind Kiwi.
Marcus up in a P2 is less than 2/10 behind Riley at the moment, so he's really making
Holy
a run
crikey.
on this lead at the moment. He's right on the back of this Mercedes. They're coming down the back straight.
He's going to get him.
14 and 15 they're coming into. Well, if he lines this one up correctly, Martin, I think you're going to be right. Let's call this one.
Let's call this one. It is the McLaren versus the Mercedes. Trust Karama gets a 3-second penalty, but that's okay. Is he going to get the run? Is he going to look at the outside? Down the outside, he does go. Oh, they've actually got the same life of tyres. Leaves a wee bit of room into turn 1, but I tell you what, mate, Marcus has got it done. Into turn 3 we go. Marcus has got Riley. That's it. That's all she wrote. So Riley's going to hopefully get the DRS.
Timmy and Roscoe are going hammer and tongs side by side through turn 3, heading up to turn 4. Prince just got the move done on I'm a Noob, and it looks like he's going to send it on Roscoe into turn 4. He absolutely does.
Oh, he's going to get a double banger.
Gets the double move done.
I
think he's done it. He has. He's done it. That's the move of the season, Prince. Take that, he says. Put that in your pipe and smoke it,
Take that in your pipe and smoke it.
Sunday.
Let's go. Holy, that was an absolute move of that's going to be historic. We're going to look back on this and think that is it. That is the benchmark. Through 10 we go. Prince gets a fantastic exit. DRS flicks open on the cars behind him, but it's not going to make enough difference. Holy crap.
Marty, Prince makes all those panties wet. I tell you, with driving like that, that is absolutely sensational. Purple Rain. Woo!
Let's go. Turn it up to the Supermax. It is Red Bull for the overtake of the season. That should go in the highlights for real, JC.
Oh, not a doubt. No doubt about it. That's going to be in the clips and highlights for a legacy of Inter's Racing League. Let's go, Prince. That was absolutely fantastic.
Shout out.
It looks like they're boxing. So Marcus and Riley are boxing, the 2 race leaders at the moment, which puts MASH into P1, like we said. So the Ferrari is out in front, and I'm absolutely loving seeing that. Let's hope Charles Leclerc can do exactly the same thing tonight. Let's go Ferrari.
Let's go the Rari. The MASH Rari in P1. That's where we like to see MASH. Not that we don't like to see anybody else in P1, but KLX and Prince in P2 and P3, I'm a Noob, deserves to be up there in that Mercedes, mate. 9-lap-old hards. He's doing well. I'll tell you what, MASH's hards are going to go to the end. 16-lap-old hards for KLX. They are not. What can you see?
We have an Aston Martin in P4. We've got an Alfa Romeo in P5, Aston Martin in P6, and an Alfa Romeo in P7. So we've got 2 teams absolutely battling out at the moment. There's a car separating both of them, the 2 teams. So this is super interesting. It looks like Dools is putting a lot of pressure on Roscoe, who's being absolutely squeezed by those 2 Aston Martins, and Scotty is trying to put as much pressure as he can on the Aston.
Something's happened to KLX. He's had a moment through 10. He's just dropped down to P8. I don't know whether there's any... and Timmy.
And Broccolilli looks like he's having a moment as well. So there's a bit happening a bit further down, Martin.
There is
that's unfortunate for those guys.
The 2 Mercedes further down in P16 and P17, mate. That's not where they want to be. But Timmy, what's happened to Timmy in the Haas? He was
look,
rapid.
There must have been, look, he was battling really hard. We didn't see what happened, but obviously there was a bit of contact and he's gone around, or maybe he's just had a spin on his own, but it's not his night here on the second stint, unfortunately. So we've actually got another racer boxing, and that's KLX. So he's had enough of those hards, and he's going to put on some fresh mediums and push it as hard as he can to collect as many points to bridge that gap to Prince, because Prince is in P2 at the moment on those 10-lap old mediums. He's going to want to bring those home, you'd imagine, Martin.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's right. KLX has had enough of being hard. He's happy to go with the semi and jump onto the meds. So down to P16 he goes. Prince up in P2. 10 lap old meds, JC. Oh, I don't know, mate. That could be, what have we got? 9, 10, 11 to go. 21 laps on meds. Could that be puncture territory? He is the only med runner in the top 7. What do you reckon?
Definitely puncture territory. I guess we'll have to call KLX Chubb then. So he's down in P16 at the moment. He's on those fresh mediums. He's got to wait to get as much heat into those tyres as he can to inflate them and get a little bit bigger. But let's hope that he can make that happen sooner rather than later. All right, so Mash is out to a 3.5 second lead on Prince. He's on those 10-lap old hards. They should be feeling pretty good, and he's going to bring those all the way home and look to bring home his first race win in Tier 1. Of course, Mash Jr. was the champion in Tier 2 last season, so it's been, a pretty good transition from him. He's got a bunch of points. He's sitting overall on the table in P13 at the moment, so if he can haul in a race win, that'll push him up into the top 10, and he'll be feeling much better about his chances in the tier that's at the top of Inters.
Yeah, I'm just sitting on board actually with Roscoe at the moment. He is having a real good lick of I'm a Noob into the DRS zone out of 3 into 4. He just didn't get a very much of a good exit. Good exit. Riding all of the curb there, mate, like a donkey in the outback, and just all over those red and white strips. So into 5, 6, and 7 we go. What can you see?
Oh, look, there's a tremendous train, as you said, going down from I'm a Noob, but Marcus and Kong are going at it, and Kong absolutely compromises that coming into turn 5. He got all over that curb. It's made him a little bit squiggly coming out of 6 and 7 as he comes into the big hairpin. It looks like we've got a yellow flag. It looks like Broccolilli maybe pulling it in the pits, is he? It's someone down there, looks like he is.
Oh, so there's Brocco.
He might be ending his night, is he? No?
That was out of 3.
So
I'll tell you what, that was where Romain Grosjean, of course, had that enormous fireball crash. So luckily, Brocco has not done the same thing there. Of course, safety is paramount here at Inters.
No doubt about it. I think Marcus just got the move done on Miller there. He's on much fresher tyres on those mediums. 8-lap fresher tyres, in fact. So that's going to make the difference. And Marcus has pushed right through. We've got a yellow flag. It looks like we've got an Alpine. It's Karuma, who's in the sand at Bahrain, probably hailing down a camel right now. There's no water out there, so he's just going to have to go home on empty. And he's not letting KLX through. KLX is just going to follow in behind him. So
he knows.
It's not Karama's night at the moment.
It really is not. So the croissants are stale. I think
we have a
no one's going to eat them.
Safety car, do we? We've got a full course safety car.
No, yes.
We do. There's a yellow safety car out there.
Bert Mylander has taken his undies off and put his race suit on, and he is...
Oh! Roscoe has jumped into the pits and put on some softs before anyone else had the chance to.
Oh!
So
where's Roscoe? Where is he currently sitting?
He's in P9 at the moment. He's got the jump.
Scotty's
got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with KLX.
Oh, what are we going to go 2 laps on the safety car?
Timmy's boxing,
oh my God.
Tomo's boxing, Brocco's boxing again, so they're all going to chuck on those soft tyres, you'd imagine, and try and pick up as many points as they can in the dying last few laps.
They've actually gone, I'll tell you what, Timmy, Tomo and...
I'm a Noob's out.
Oh, why is he out?
I'm a Noob is out.
He has retired in pits,
happened?
JC.
No.
He has, yep.
Retired in pits?
What? I mean, according to the track map.
It's very hard to figure out
what is going on? Tomo, I'll tell you what.
See if I can find out.
Timo, Tommy, and Brocco and Karama have jumped on meds. So have Lorenzbro and Scotty. Roscoe is the only one on soft. Isn't that amazing? He is up in P8. What a jump that bloke has got. So at the top, so Mash is boxing for Meds, and P2 Prince. Bloody Prince. Oh, sorry. Bloody Prince. I'll tell you what, mate. Prince has gotten away with a banger here. Yeah, I would have stayed out if I was Mash too, but...
You've got to take track position.
You've got to take it.
You've got to.
But P5 for Prince, mate, he has jumped onto his extra set of fresh meds. This is it. This is it for Prince. Kiwi's doing
really
a banger.
Paid off for Prince. Yeah.
Oh, and we said it earlier, didn't we, JC? Look, we said the safety car was on its way.
Because Prince went from medium to hard to medium to medium. So
they're 1 lap old.
I think he's had 4 stops, if I'm right.
Let's actually, you're correct. Let's have a look at the stops. So Prince has had 3 stops.
3, okay.
And he's up in P5.
Medium, hard, medium.
Medium, hard, medium is indeed what he's done. The only other guys on 3 stops are Miller and AMS Kong. Everyone else is on 2 stops. The 1 stoppers are Roscoe, KLX, Riley, Marcus, and Dools.
Oh, I've just got word from Imanoob, and he said his AI just hit into the safety car and DNF'd him. So I'm not sure. This game, I tell you, I'm not sure.
That's unfortunate.
What he was doing in AI. He may have just for a quick second, or maybe desynced. Who knows? But that's super unfortunate for Imanoob, who was making his way through the field there. Rather impressively, you got to say there was a bit of an issue or a moment with I think it was into turn 10 with Tomo, following Tomo, but obviously anything like that's going to come out in the stewards in the incidents report after the race. But nonetheless, very disappointing for Imanoob, who was up in a P3, I believe, at the time of that unfortunate DNF, man.
Yeah, I think he was up into P3. You're absolutely right. Like you said, I don't know what he was doing in AI anyway. It probably shouldn't be a thing that you do, but it is what it is. Shout out again to you, Codemasters. What a fantastic game you've created. I've already seen the advertising for F123, and I can't wait to be shafted again. So, let's go. Let's go.
Yep. Bend over, Martin.
Bend over, Marty B.
That's for sure. Bend over and take my money.
And I'll probably do it, let's be honest. I'm just going to buy the best game that they have.
Of course we will.
Of course we will. So, anyway,
on with the show.
Literally no other option. Thanks, Cody's.
Matt, so shout out to the 80s and the 90s for all those programmers making those fabulous games back in the day that they just poured hours and hours and hours of their soul and hard work into.
That were amazing
now it's
games.
It's just a mass money collecting bloody scheme and microtransactions. You can go get stuffed, you bastards.
Neck up, you Pelicans.
Neck up, you Pelicans.
Neck up, you Pelicans. All right, Roscoe and Kiwi, the only runners, Softs. JC, on those soft period shoes. We'll call them period shoes because they are the red-rimmed rag-weak shoes. There's only 2 in the field. Everybody else is on the mediums. Sorry, as I say that, apart from Dools. Doolsy, poor old Doolsy out there on, mate. He's on 14-lap-old hards.
Mate, Dools, I don't blame you, mate.
I don't blame you either.
Track position, if they're going to squabble behind you and you get a good start on the safety car, this is Alpha Tauri strategy 101. It's I probably shouldn't be saying that, but
you're giving away our secrets.
Stuff my words back into my mouth.
Can you pick those words up a little? Yeah, perfect.
So Jules, he's taken track position here, and hopefully they're going to be squabbling behind him, and he can get out to a good start, and away he goes. So I know Matty AU will be biting his fingernails, hoping that that's exactly what unfolds, because he's just lost his other driver, unfortunately.
He really, really has. So we are doing another lap under the Burt Mylander super slow safety car. I can just hear these guys out there, like, can you go a bit faster, safety car? Burt Mylander, excuse me. Sorry.
Timmy will be stoked that they're going around again, because he's the one that's just coming around turns 14 and 15, because he wouldn't want to start from that far behind. So
no.
I think those soft runners will be happy. Duels will probably be happy to not push those hards as hard as he can for another lap. So around we go again with another safety car. Of course, this round has probably brought out the most safety cars of any round this season, which is pretty remarkable. Of course, we only had, I think, 1 in Singapore in Tier 1 out of all the tiers. So
yeah,
we've had a few safety cars this round, Martin.
Safety cars breed safety cars, mate. So Dools is going to he's going to want to stroke those hard tyres as hard as he can to try and really bring up the temperature. 15 lap old. They are 15 laps old, Twitches. That is an old tyre right there on that car of Dools. Marcus behind. He'll be putting pressure on Mash Jr. I'll tell you what, on 2 lap old Meds and Prince. P4 and P5 at the moment, Mash and Prince, they're going to be bangers on the restart. So, and of course the soft runners, they'll be so sad that we are doing this many laps under the safety car. Kiwi and Roscoe, they're not going to be enjoying scrubbing those tyres. But on the restart, what'll be 23 out of 29, there is 7 to go, including this one. So, this time round, we should be go. Hopefully. I'm not sure. Who should we sit on board with for the restart, JC?
Good question. You'll have to sit on board with Dools because that's the rules with streaming for the restart, the safety restart. Yep, we have to stay on board with Dools and make sure he gets away cleanly.
I was unaware of that. Yes, sounds good. Let's do it.
I was just reading the chat. Anyway, just a bit of funny stuff going on there. Of course, so Riley actually in the Mercedes done really well to stay up there and.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mercedes, yeah. Of course, he's done that all season long. He really has. He's been finishing in the top 5 consistently, of course. Secured his first podium last weekend, pumped up to P2 after the stewards' ruling came out. So, yeah, Riley's just super consistent. Of course, I think Bulls is gone. Yep. So,
I'll tell you what.
Racing.
Marcus is going to have a squeeze here. Marcus down the inside into turn 1. He's Dools is squeezing him like a pimple on a 14-year-old.
Riley's sending it. He's going to get Dools as well. Marcus is going to Riley's going to take him behind actually. So that's a pretty good decision there because he's going to have the much fresher tyres and he will get the move done when it's much easier and a bit more heat in those tyres. You'd have to imagine there, Martin.
Oh, absolutely. There is some a lack of temperature there for Dools. But he's going to hang on to track position.
P6 at the moment. If we get down to P6, Kiwi is right behind Prince and Kiwi's on the tyres. This is the first time we've seen this rivalry heat up right before our eyes in Season 4. Inters Racing League, sponsored by Derby. Shout out to our sponsors. Kiwi heads into turn 9 and 10, right behind his main rival in Prince and the Red Bulls. So let's just stay with this one, Martin.
Yeah, let's stay with this one. Prince 4-lap-old Meds. They are still relatively new, so he's going to be an absolute mover. Kiwi Roscoe on those softs. The battle is here. This is it. They've got to make the most of it. The 2 soft runners in the entire field, the Rag Week runners, we shall call them at this stage, P6, P7. They're just going to want to push these things to the absolute limit if they can, but they're just not, JC. Kiwi is half a second behind Prince. Prince on an absolute...
just gone into the back of Dools and he's half spun him on the final corner, turn 14 and 15, because, of course, Dools is going to be a bit slower with those old hards, and Riley just a bit slower going into the side.
Prince is picking up...
corner on the better brakes.
Prince is picking up the pieces.
Mash and
Mash,
Prince.
go Mash.
Mash, a switchback. Mash is going for the switchback. He wants his race win. He's done. He's switching all over the place, going into turn 4 on Riley,
that was close.
and they're coming into turn 4. Mash is going to get this move done. He does. Riley's going to push him on the outside. He goes for the switchback on the inside. Riley on the Mercedes. He's got the move done.
Mash is round.
Contact.
Mash is round.
I wonder.
That's probably a racing incident, sadly.
I think so. I think it was
Mash.
just wheel-to-wheel racing. So, oh my God, that was
shout out to you, buddy.
So unfortunate, and Prince is up in A3.
Oh, that hands Marcus the race lead, 1.8 in front of Riley. Prince is on an absolute banger. We are sitting with Prince at the moment in that Red Bull. Turn it up to the Supermax. There is 5 to go, including this one super wide going into turn 11. Left hand down we go into turn 12. This is going to be a banger towards the end of the race. 5 tenths behind P2 is Prince. Kiwi's going to have a sniff as well. Kiwi's on those soft, but those softs, mate, I'll tell you what, 4 laps, they're going to be starting to scrub themselves to death.
Oh, they will. They'll be stinky and they'll need a big scrub, that's for sure. So Kiwi, he's got the soft tyres. They're not really working for him, you've got to say. It looks like Prince is getting better value out of those mediums at the moment, and Dools just holding on for dear life in those 17 lap-old hards in P5 at the moment. And Roscoe putting all the pressure on him. Yeah, the back straight, the front straight is on the outside. It looks like Roscoe might get this move done. Jules pushing all the way to turn 1.
Oh, look at the cars in front of him.
Roscoe's going to get the run on the inside into
leaves
turn
in space.
3, out of turn 3, gets it done. Jules is going to hop in behind him here and just see if he can hold on. Don't was pushing on the outside.
It's a big lunge.
And hold on to your nutsack, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep your teeth inside your mouth. Let's go.
Prince has got the move done on Riley, going through turns 7 and 8.
This is it.
Coming into turn 8 right now. So can Prince run down Marcus? I don't know about that. He's got 3 minutes to do it in just over 3 seconds.
Does just have fraction to 3.2, 3.1. What's the exit like? It's not great from Prince. Down into turn number 11, we fling ourselves. The Red Bull is on the hunt. He is on the hunt like a shark after a bleeding woman, JC. 3.2 is the margin. 0.5 is the margin for Riley behind. 0.3 is Kiwi on those period tyres. Oh my goodness, the puns are all over the place. Let's go. Let's go. There is fighting all over the place. Tyler in P8 is going to have a look at Lorenzbro, possibly down into turn 1. No, he is not. There is a train. There is an absolute Thomas the Tank Engine going on down as we go through the main straight DRS zone. Flick that rear wing open. Let's go. Let's go. Well, there's a lot of downforce on Tyler's car because he is losing time, I tell you what, even with DRS open.
Kiwi's on the back of Riley right now, going through turns 2 and 3 at the moment. Looks like there's a bit of action happening down with Karuma and Miller as well, but Kiwi's got the run on the outside going into turn 4 on the Mercedes. Riley, Prince is just galloping a little bit away from those two at the moment, and Kiwi is doing all he can to get in front of this Mercedes and get up on the podium for the first time at Williams. He needs a bunch of points. He's sitting on about P17 overall at the moment, Kiwi. I think he's got about 9 points in total on the table, so he needs all he can here to prove his worth in that Williams. Roscoe's following behind on the softs as well. I don't think he's going to really close that gap because he just looks content really to sit there in P5 with Dools holding on for dear life in the Aston Martin. I
don't blame Roscoe for sitting there content. I don't blame him. He's got Dools behind him on 19 lap old hards. So in theory, 7 lap old soft, mate, they are going to be as chafed as a 14-year-old's shoes. So he's probably just going to hang on and stay there if he can. Dools is probably going to drop down a wee bit. I imagine 19 lap old hards is only 3 laps to go, but the mover is Prince. 0.3 he's picked up on this lap, but he's not going to pick up enough time. He's got to pick up literally like a second and a half per lap for the next 2 laps. And Riley's just going to sit there. I reckon he'll sit there in P3 and just have a look. What's happened to Riley? He's had a moment. No, he's been passed. He's been done by Kiwi on the soft.
He's been done, but I tell you, if you're Marcus, you'd be having a fair bit of mucus forming in your throat right about now. Prince chasing him down. He's got it under 3 seconds with just over 2 laps to go. So Marcus will be feeling the heat, there's no doubt about it, because nothing brings more pressure than Prince breathing down the back of your neck. Oh my goodness, Kiwi's up in a P3, so we got the move done on those soft tyres, and he should bring home that podium if he keeps it all 4 wheels on the track. A little bit wide there into turn 7. Of course, you don't want to spit too much of that curb. It'll spit you out, throw you sideways into the wall. Roscoe is holding on behind in P5 to Riley. We've got Bulls in P6, Lorenzbro P7. Tyler's done very well to pick himself back up into P8 in that Red Bull. He was having a horrendous night at the start there. Scotty's done well to bounce back as well in P9, so there's a bit of a train forming obviously, and Karuma as well in P11. So all those guys down below, they've been having a lot of incidents. They've been boxing, putting new wings on, but they battled hard. There's a few time penalties, but most of those drivers are going to bring home points tonight. Mash, of course, you've got to feel for that man in the Ferrari. He looked to have the race won with about, 10 laps to go, and yeah, just super unfortunate incident with Riley. Just looked like fair racing, but we'll find out in the incident report afterwards.
We certainly will. The stewards are going to have their work cut out for them. There has been a little bit of argy-bargy, a little bit more than we'd like as we head on now to the final lap. So Prince has gained around about just over half a second. Riley's going to have a look at contact. Riley into turn 3. Kiss? Oof. DRS. Oh, it was a bad exit from Riley. He sort of compromised himself there by trying to get too close to Kiwi. But into turn number 4. Depends on the exit now. So good exit from Riley. I tell you what, through 5, 6, and 7, this is going to be good. All over that curb. He is all over that Williams. All over the Williams. Kevy's going to have a look down the inside into 8. No, he is not. He's going to... I tell you what, JC, he's going to do a little bit of contact. He's going to have a look into the DRS zone. Hopefully that didn't ruin the front wing. Oh, a little bit of a bloody squeezy. Oh, he has a look. That's compromised his exit. Has it? No, DRS open. He's going to burn. He's going to burn what battery he has left, but he's not. I don't think he's close enough. I don't think it's going to work for him. Down to 11 we go now. A great corner there from Riley. So those softs of Kiwi are definitely burning off now. That is unfortunate. What can you see?
Kiwi just needs to... Oh, and Riley just sent it on the inside. Is he going to hold this?
Yes!
He might have sent Kiwi wide. Let's have a look. Coming around. Kiwi's coming back at him. Kiwi's got the run. Marcus comes around the corner. The super sub in the McLaren is going to take the win here. He gets it done. He's beaten Prince by 2.5 seconds. Prince P2. Kiwi P3, is it? We're going to get a run here for the line. Riley can't get it done, so Kiwi gets P3, Riley P4, Roscoe P5, Jules P6, Lorenz P7, KLX gets P8, Tyler P9, and Tomo scrapes in for P10, Martin.
Yeah, Karama, Scotty, Timmy, Miller, Mash, and Kong rounding out your top 16 for DNFs. For this round in Bahrain, under the lights, Brocco, I'm a noob, Jaco, and Just Secret. Unfortunate end of time for those blokes, but mate, JC, what a banger that was. How many safety cars was that? 4? Was it 4? 3?
At least 2 or 3. Yeah,
3,
I think it was maybe 3, but look, Marcus has gone from last to first, man.
He just smashed it.
Last to first. I think he's gone from last to first, so we just need to confirm that. We'll have a look, but that is a remarkable drive from Marcus. He's really redeemed himself after last week. Of course, you remember just a little bit of contact in the back of, I believe it was Dools, and put him into the wall. Of course, it wasn't on purpose. It was just one of those things that happened. And so to Marcus to bounce back like a reserve to pick up the win, sensational in Bahrain.
Absolutely. So what if it, Grid, you are absolutely right, JC. Marcus P20 in qualifying, up to P1 with ones. He did a one-stopper and smashed out the race. Prince getting into P2 from grid 3. So Marcus P20 to P1. Prince P3 to P2. Kiwi, Riley, Roscoe rounding out your top 5. Dools, Lorenz, bro. KLX, Tyler, and Tomo rounding out the top 10. We've got Karama, Scotty, Timmy, Miller, and Mash rounding out the top 15. Kong, Brocco, I'm a noob, Jaco, and Just Secret. An unfortunate round for those lower guys. Just Secret for the AT. Shout out to AT. Shout out to you, Secret. An unfortunate round for you, mate. But that is your Bahrain race for this afternoon. Or for this evening, I should say. What a banger, JC. What was your highlight? Joey?
You'd have to say, obviously, Marcus getting that miraculous win from all the way at the back of the field, and obviously Prince as well, who had a horrendous start. He had a few incidents there. There was a spin early on, and he boxed and he boxed and he boxed again. He rolled his punches, and he came all the way through to take P2 there. So I think you did write him off there halfway through that race when he went on to hards to go to the end. But yeah, I said you can never really write off Prince, and he proved it right there. So, and of course Kiwi as well. You can't take anything away from Kiwi, who has returned after a little bit of an absence away. But what a tremendous drive for him to hold on at the end there on those soft tyres. Got the move done, held off a strong finishing Riley from behind him. It was a great battle at the end there to pick up P3 in his first podium for Inters this season, Martin.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. What a banger of a race. Bahrain never fails to deliver. So we do have these guys in the chat party at the moment. Joey, would you like to take away the interviews? I think we've got Kiwi and Prince, so take your pick, mate.
Just start with Kiwi for me, if you don't mind, and I'll get the race winner in here, mate.
Kiwi, are you here with us, my friend?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh, mate, what a banger, bro! How did that work out for you? What was your strategy? To be honest, like there was about 2 or 3 2, 3, 4 safety cars, mate. How did the strat work out for you?
There was none, to be honest.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like carnage at the start. I feel sorry for Prince and all that. He got turned by, I think, someone hit him, and then it caused chaos I was I think I dropped from like 6th to like 17th in one corner because of that Prince incident. Not his doing, it's just bad luck for both of us. But then, just again, like, the carnage in the first 10 laps after that first safety car. Miller, out of nowhere, just decides to turn me. I spin. Can't believe I didn't get hit. Poor Secret, though, gets killed, and I go from basically last to third in about 15 laps.
Nice. What a banger.
Yeah. Kiwi, tremendous drive. Of course, we did see you battling it out there with your Williams counterpart, your Williams teammate there. I think it was after turn 10 down the back straight heading into turn 11. I believe there was another car there. I think it was maybe Secret. So not sure what happened between the two Williams, but hopefully we see it in the incident report because, yeah, poor Secret. I think it was Miller who came across here, the wing damage, and I think it was Secret who went into him and DNF'd his race. So that was the unfortunate moment there, one of them for you anyway, but you managed to scrape away with that and claw your way back up the field, and yeah, tremendous drive coming back tonight, mate, for P3. So well done, mate. We won't keep you too long, but yeah, just want to say tremendous drive, and I'm sure Logan is pretty impressed with that drive tonight.
Cheers.
Alrighty.
Man, a few words.
Great to see him back, though. I mean, I'm really impressed with that drive from Kiwi. It's not easy for him. It enters. He's back against the wall, and yeah, credit to him for a great drive. P2 was, of course, Prince, who was, he's our premium driver. There's no doubt about it here. He's very well known. Didn't have a great night during the week for the OCE event, but Jesus Christ, what a performance tonight, Prince. I mean, it wasn't easy for you early on. There was a few incidents that you had to overcome. You boxed about 3 times, but as I said, you rolled with those punches and you pulled yourself back up into P2. So after all that, mate, how do you feel?
Oh, God, yeah. Tired. I really wasn't really up to it today, and I've had a bad week. Just all racing, I've been just a lot of incidents that I couldn't really control, and it's just been a bit shitty. But and then I got another one tonight where I just got punted, and I was like, okay, 30 seconds off the back. Let's see if we can do another Singapore. And look, I just got really lucky safety cars. There's no two ways about it. Like, I drove all right, but like, if I don't get those safety cars, I don't even know if I get to the back of the train, to be honest. So
to be honest, we said it on stream. You were right at the back. You had to box, and I said, "I'll tell you what, he is looking forward to a safety car." And then, bugger me days, a few laps later, there goes the safety car. So, commentator's curse, if you like. The opposite of commentator's curse, in fact. It worked out for you, mate. It's an absolute blessing. So, I mean, shout out to me for giving you the good luck, man, to be fair. Let's be honest, but it all worked out for you. You were definitely the charger in the mid-pack. Those meds, we sort of looked at the tyre age. Did you feel like they were sort of running out towards the end?
Oh, no. And they were used as well. I put them on used.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, Joey said that.
Yeah. They aren't really quick, but they kind of last. So,
okay.
yeah, I don't mind the mediums at Bahrain. They're decent. So, yeah, I went double medium. Well, in a way, triple medium, because I started on mediums and then went medium at the end.
Yeah.
Look, it worked out. Like, both safety cars worked so much in my favour. So, like, you know, shout out to
they just did.
Shout out to the safety cars.
Shout out to Bert Mylander.
You got to take the luck when it shines on your Print. So well done, mate. It worked out in your favour tonight. It's another really good haul of points for yourself and your team, Red Bull, because KLX, the guy who was right behind you in the overall standings, KLX picked up a P8 tonight in the McLaren. So I'm sure you'll be thrilled with that. And yeah, well done on another podium tonight. And we will see you in Abu Dhabi next week, mate.
All right. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, bro.
Alrighty, now, man, the man of the hour, you got to say, Marcus in the McLaren. He went from P20, ladies and gentlemen, on the grid at the start after quali. And at the start of his race, it looked like he was doing a really good job of just supporting the number one driver in the McLaren team, KLX, just playing a nice role of the P2 driver, supporting him through there. But when Marcus had his chance, after a few safety car restarts, and I think there may have been maybe an incident with Mash, I think it was, leading the race, Marcus got out the front and he never looked behind and took the victory. So bouncing back from last weekend, Marcus, how good does that feel, mate?
Oh, that feels great, honestly. First, to say the least, it was definitely super fun. First lap was absolutely chaos. My idea was, actually, I'll rewind. I'll talk about quali first. Quali was just an absolute shambles. It wasn't that I didn't have the pace. The pace was there for pole because I did a 27.8 as my banker, but I just invalidated. So yeah, skill issue nonetheless. But yeah, managed. I just sort of focused on the race, slapped on the hards, and was just ready to go for a long first stint and know that end of the race my time would come on the mediums. And first lap, I think I went from P20 to P1 before second lap even started. All I had to do was sort of just manage myself, just stay composed, and make my way through the field. And got to the point where I was behind KLX, and he was also on the hards, and I was just trying to get in the DRS of him and get ready to overtake him. And I saw him flashing, so I figured it was my best time to use a bit of my own battery to sort of pull myself a bit closer. And that's what I did. I got into his DRS and just sat there for a few laps, just sort of regathering myself, judging what I was going to do for the next part of the race. And then the safety car came out, which was not beneficial to myself at all, to say the least. It definitely helped the guys who started on the meds, but I knew that my strategy could still come into play towards the end. And on the restart, I managed to jump KLX, and then Riley and I sort of ran off into the distance while I think it was the Timmy train was just holding everyone up behind, and yes, sort of helping us out in the mid part of the race, which was good. Then we obviously boxed and made up a couple positions. I think I was P9 or so, and then the second safety car came out, and obviously there'd been about 5 laps of me running fresh air on the meds, so I'd sort of broken that pit stop gap between myself and the leaders. So when they went in, I managed to come out in P2 behind Dools, who was on the hards, so that was a pretty easy picking, to say the least. Obviously on the hards he was going to struggle off the restart, and I wasn't planning to get him into turn 1. I was actually aiming to get him in turn 4, but he had a bit of a wiggle on the restart, and I sort of knew that that was going to be my best time to sort of get out and just let Dools boat a little bit behind on his cold old hards. And that's what happened. And then I had about a 2-second gap by the time anyone else got past, and it was pretty smooth sailing from there. All I had to do was pretty much just drive the car home for the last 4 or 5 laps or so.
Mate, what a rundown. I'll be looking forward to reading your manifesto at the end of your career. That was
that was
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, well done. As you said at the end there, you got out to about a 2-second lead over Prince. Did you feel any pressure that Prince was going to catch up at the end there? Because, I mean, if there's anyone behind you where you're going to feel it, it's going to be from Prince.
Yeah, look, I certainly respect Prince as a driver, and he's definitely very quick. But no, to answer the question, no, I didn't feel any pressure from the laps remaining, the tyre difference, and how I was feeling with my pace. I think, yeah, I had that pretty sealed as soon as I got past Dools.
Nice.
I like that confidence, mate. Marcus,
oh, yeah.
Congratulations, mate. I'm sure you're not going to forget that race in a very long time. Racer boys, anything you want to add before we let the champion go tonight?
Nah, nothing, mate. It was good to watch, and as much as I love Prince, it's nice to see a little bit of competition up there in the top 2. Well done, mate. A fantastic race. It was good to watch. It was good to commentate. It was just good. It was just a nice race, apart from the safety cars, mate. Just a banger all the way around. So that's it. We will let you go. Good luck for next week.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you at Abu Dhabi, mate.
Yeah, hopefully see you guys next week.
Yeah,
Cheers,
G.
boys.
Cheers.
Later, bro.
Look, I reckon if there's any TP out there in Tier 1 that's looking to sign a reserve driver who's looking for a full-time seat, you'd have to say Marcus is probably leading that race there. Look, you've got to send a shout-out to Karuma in the Alpine, who was pole overall, and he just couldn't put it together, unfortunately. I thought it was his best chance of his race win this season. Mash as well. He was P2 after qualifying. And, he had a chance to really come away with a win there, and I think it was a bit of a battle with Riley that brought his night unstuck. So, Shout out to Mash, commiserations, mate. I'm sure you'll bounce back again, as the Ferraris normally do. Yeah, just a really good race. Let's have a look. The top 10. So Roscoe did really well for P5 there. Dools, obviously, good bounce back for him, P6. Lorenz Bro, one of the most consistent drivers we've got here at P7, so ads will be happy with that. KLX, as we said, P8, Tyler P9, Tomo to scrape into a P10. Very good driving from him there because he had to deal with quite a bit as we could see. So that's it for tonight. Great racing here in Tier 1 again at Inters Racing League. Thanks to everyone for joining us. We'll be back at it again next weekend for round 8. Abu Dhabi is where we'll be at. I have struggled getting those 2 words out, but that's just the way it is. So, Martin, thanks again tonight. Do you have any final words before we leave?
Oh, not a huge amount. It's been an absolutely banger of an afternoon here, or of a night here, I should say, under the lights in Bahrain, where dreams come true. So I have been Marty B with my best mate JC in Sky Race Control. Join us next week. So I will see you in 7 days on Sunday. Peace.